starting back with number 92. This is one that met the conditions for ambiguous case. You had one angle given, it was acute, and when we solved it, we found an acute angle, which meant that we had to do two scenarios. What if it was the acute angle we found, or the ambiguous case being 180 minus that? So we've gone through and we've concluded that in the original case, the third angle would be 135.6. We're trying to solve it out to see what that third side would be. Let's see here, that's going to be 16.12 sine 135.6. Divide everything by sine 14.4. So here we go. We have got 16.12 sine 135.6, enter, divided by sine 14.4, and I've got 45.35. So little c is 45.35. Okay, so now you got to do the other option. Okay, other option, what if we're living in this alternate reality where we have a prime? Well, we got to find c prime. So you got to start out with 180, take out a prime, which is 150, and then we have to subtract out the original b angle, which was 14.4. That's going to give us, this little c would be 15.6, so he's kind of tiny. Then we're going to have to find this possible little baby c, so side c. So we're going to do sine of 14.4 over 16.12. Are you realizing that we're using the same basic ratio to get started on everything? That's not changing. Okay, I need to use sine of 15.6. That's what's going to make this thing different. If I do that, I'm going to have c sine 14.4 equals 16.12 sine 15.6 all over sine 14.4. Okay, I'm running out of room here. Just a matter of typing it all in. So 16.12 times sine 15.6, enter, divided by sine 14.4. So I got 17.43 to be that particular side. Now if you wanted to go back up there and put it in here, that would be 17.43. It's a lot of work when you have the ambiguous case and you're solving the triangle. You just have to persevere and complete both scenarios because you have two separate triangles to work with. Oh boy, 93 looks like it's the same thing because you have one angle given and that angle is acute. We could end up with the exact same situation. We're just going to have to see where it goes. Now I'm going to kind of cheat here. 30 minutes, that's half of a degree because 30 over 60 is 0.5. So let's just bypass this and do 42.5 degrees. It'll just make it a little bit easier. So we got sine of 42.5 over, our little b is 8.67. All right, then we need sine of a over 21.01. If you cross multiply 21.01 sine 42.5 equals 8.67 sine of a. I'm going to try to shrink my pen, see if it'll fit on the board a little bit better. 8.67 down here. So we have 21.01 sine 42.5, enter, divided by 8.67. Okay, something interesting just happened, but you should actually be excited about it. Because when you see that sine of an angle is equal to 1 point something, you should know that this is impossible. Whether you realize it at the beginning or after you hit inverse sine, you should find out that this is going to say error. That's not technically the way you answer it. You're just going to say there's no solution because there's not a triangle here. If you'll remember, the instruction said solve the triangle if possible. That's why they had that. This one is not possible. So the good thing about that is you don't have to work the problem anymore. You're done. Okay, 94. We have an airplane is sighted at the same time by two ground observers who are 2 miles apart. Okay, so we've got an airplane. I've told y'all before I can't draw, so there's my plane. And he is spotted by 2 observers. We've got one here, we've got one here. The only thing that we are told is that they're 2 miles apart. So from here to here, 2 miles. And both directly west of the airplane. Okay? They report the angles of elevation as 11 and 21. Well, let's just think. The small one here is going to be the 11. The larger one is going to be 21. How high is the airplane? Now, if you remember from when we did this in class, this is the in-depth, long, lengthy problem. So hang on to your halos. We're going for a ride. We need to come down here and put another value. And I tell you what, let's not call him X. Let's put him as H for height. We're going to call this X because it's horizontal. And we're just talking about this part. So if you say the whole thing, we're going to call that X plus 2. Okay, now the only thing we know is those little values that they gave us. We've got to relate things some way, somehow. So if you look at one of the triangles, tangent of 11 degrees is the opposite side over the entire bottom, which is X plus 2. We also know that tangent of 21 degrees is H over X. Now, if you will cross multiply both of those, that's going to give you X plus 2 times tangent 11 equals H. And then this one is going to be X times tangent 21 equals H. Now that's a beautiful thing, because you've got both of these equal to H, which means you can set them equivalent to each other. That means this part has got to equal this part. And what's wonderful about that is you only have one variable once you do that. That means you can solve and you can figure out what X is. Okay, so we're going to take this first part. Now I'm going to distribute at the same time. So I'm fixing to write this down, but I'm distributing tangent of 11 because I'm trying to expedite the situation here. So that is my left side. Whoops, I'm writing it like it says tall, and it's tangent of 11. Whew, long day. Tangent 11. There we go. Looks a little better. And then we're going to bring this other side down for my right side. Now our goal is to get X by itself, which means we need both of these terms with X in it on the same side. So I'm going to take this guy over here. We're going to leave this alone, because remember, even though it looks like it has variables in it, no, that's all what a number. Tangent of 11 is a numeric value. So this guy's staying up front, but behind him we're putting X tangent of 11. Now both of these have X's in them. You can factor in X out. Again, beautiful thing here, because you've got tangent of numeric values. You can just divide through by what's in parentheses. And I'm too lazy to rewrite that. Trying to squish all this stuff on this page. So I just need to type this in. I need 2. Now be real careful how you type it, okay? So please be careful. Let's just open it up with parentheses. How about this? Overkill never hurt anything, okay? So in parentheses, put 2 times tangent 11. Now you're going to have to close it twice because your calculator opened it for 11. So you have to close the parentheses again for your original one. Hit your division sign, open up parentheses, and then we're typing this part. We're going to type tangent 21. Now you've got to close your parentheses for the 21. Then you're going to put minus tangent of 11. Now close it, close it. If you'll hit enter, you get 2.05. So that's the little X value over here, okay, 2.05. But that does not answer the question. The question was, how high is the airplane? But don't freak out, we're almost there. This little jewel right here is sitting pretty. Don't clear your calculator either. Just leave all those lovely little decimals in there. Because what you need to do is you need to take what you just found, and you're going to put your 2.05, and you're going to multiply it times tangent of 21, and you will have exactly how high your airplane is. So keep the decimals rolling, hit times tangent 21, and I've got 0.7876. Not sure exactly where they want me to round that to, but you'll know on a multiple choice test which one to pick. Just keep all the decimals rolling so you don't have to to guess at it at the end. Okay, next one, find the missing parts of the triangle. Well, we're right back to where we were before because this is the same thing as saying solve the triangle. You need all of the angles and all of the sides. Now, they did give us one angle. It is obtuse, but it doesn't meet the rules for law of sines anyway. You have the condition of side angle side. Now, I didn't mention this earlier, but if you would like to, if it helps you to think through it, by all means, draw you a triangle over here and label everything, if that helps. If it doesn't help you, then don't worry about it. But you can see that this now meets the rules for law of cosines. So if they gave you angle C, you've got to start with C squared. Please make sure you know your formulas because you're not going to be given the formulas on the test. All right, now we're going to plug in what we know. We know that A is 5.7, B is 10.96, and it's long, but it's not hard. Just keep on plugging in. And then we're going to have cosine of 114.4. Okay. You have everything filled in on the right side. That means it is perfectly okay for you to start typing. So just let your fingers do the walking. Type everything in. Just don't go so fast that you get fat finger and miss something. Cosine 114.4. Hit enter. I get a crazy number, which is to be expected. Please don't clear your calculator. Leave all those lovely decimals in there. That's C squared. You want C, so you have to do second, square root, and then copy paste. So I've got 14.3. They're doing everything with 2 spaces, so I need to do 14.29. Okay? Now, once you have that, it is up to you whether or not you want to continue with the law of cosines or if you want to go with the law of sines. Because you could go either way. I'm going to do law of sines just because it's faster. So I'm going to do sine of 114.4, or put it this way, I think it's faster. It may not be faster to you. You want these opposites like that. That makes a perfect ratio. Now, it's whichever one you want to find. I tend to like to do the larger ones, so I'm purposely going for B. Cross multiply. 10.96 sine 114.4 equals 14.29 sine B. Divide through by 14.29. And it's just a matter of typing it in. So you've got 10.96 sine 114.4, enter, divided by 14.29, enter. And then remember that sine of your angle, you got to do inverse sine. So B happens to be 44.3 degrees. Okay, you only need one more thing, which is angle A. That can be found by doing 180 minus 44.3 minus 114.4 equals 21.3 degrees. You have now found all 3 missing pieces. Okay, we will pick it back up with number 96 in the next video.